Okay, well, that's about enough of the scary music. But anyway, I'm looking in the integrated pest management tray of a flow-hive 2 that has Saskatraz bees in it. Now you can see the familiar varroa destructor just to the right there. But what's this little six-legged creature with the pincers in the front? I was surprised to find it. Now, of course, I pulled the tray out. I don't know that this thing runs through the hive itself, or if it just managed to get into the tray. But one thing's for sure, this little thing's a meat eater. It's got those pincers, but it also has little transparent appendages right on its face. And you're probably wondering, does it walk around? Can it move? What do you think it is? Well, I'm going to show you. Of course, I was just getting ready for tomorrow's frequently asked questions, and I was looking over the varroa destructor that have died and dropped down into the tray here. And that's when I came across this curious little critter. Look at it. It's grabbing that little dead varroa, flipping it around, and look how it's got these little feelers that stick out. Look at the tail. The tail kind of reminds me of a leech. It seems prehensile almost. Reaches around, pokes on the ground, it stabilizes it while it bites things. Do you know what it is? It's tiny. This little thing, if you look at a varroa destructor, that thing is a little over 1/16 of an inch. And so this thing right here is about 3/16 of an inch to 1/4 inch. Oh, there's another varroa there. Little piece of propolis it looks like, or maybe there's a little bit of pollen that fell down. It kind of investigates everything. I'm going to let you watch it. Look at how it walks around. It's obviously a predator. It has to eat things, and it's not having a good time finding anything alive to chew on here. But I did notice when it pauses at the carcasses of dead animals, like the varroa destructor mite, it pauses and looks like it's actually feeding from them a little bit. Let's follow it around here. I had to focus manually, so there's another little piece of what looks like pollen again. Could be propolis, but it's more likely pollen that fell through the grid. There's another varroa destructor that's dead. That's what I'm looking for here today, is all the varroa that fell down, because we're going to talk more about them tomorrow. Now look how he pauses here. See that little transparent appendage just inside the pincers there? It seems to be feeding off of the varroa. Look at that thing. Hunts around, scavenges around. How would you like this wandering through your house? Better yet, maybe you're asleep and something tries to go up your nose. No, that's terrible. I don't want to give you that kind of visual. There it is, chewing on another varroa destructor. Look at that. What's he doing? Pushes his face right up there. It's pretty aggressive. I'm actually going to tell you a little bit about this rascal, because you might find one in your integrated pest management tray or your varroa account board, sticky boards, whatever you've got. I hope you actually don't find it on your sticky board, because this thing is not as menacing as you might think at first glance. I'm going to run it all over. Oh, there's a fly. Gotta suck some goodness out of that fly. Just look at him go. Maybe it wasn't his favorite. He's gonna keep tooling around. Do you know what it is? If you know what this is right off the bat, I'm impressed, because I had to look it up. I'd never seen one of these before, or at least spent time. Of course, it's about context. This thing was inside my bee tray. So then I wondered, wow, is this thing getting up into the beehive? Nah, the bees wouldn't put up with that. And that tail too, the behavior of the tail. Look at that. It just like sticks to things. Now, one of the comforting aspects of finding it here is that it didn't seem to be able to walk up these vertical plastic sides of this tray. And again, this comes with your flow hives. And it's very interesting to see what you find down in that. Now, this tray was perfectly clean. It was installed into the hive for 1 day because I wanted to see how many varroa destructor cast-offs there would be. So there was no syrup in it, which is why this little rascal is still alive and didn't die when it got in there. Normally you might put mineral oil or cooking oil or olive oil or something in that tray so that things that fall in die, but these varroa died before they went down. That's what we're going to talk about tomorrow, varroa control. Because as it turns out, the Saskatraz bees don't handle varroa very well. I mean, they put up a good fight, but the numbers were just too high. So we had to do some soft treatment, it's called. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. And again, what do you think this is? I'll tell you. This is just a lacewing larva. Look at all these dead varroa around here. So that little lacewing larva, and if you've ever seen a lacewing, green lacewing, look them up. One of the friendliest, cutest looking, most delicate flying insects you'll come across. And this is a larva, but at the larva stage, they eat aphids, they do pest control. I would bet you if one of these little varroa were alive, that thing would actually get a hold of it and kill it. Ooh, who knows? Maybe some of the varroa that are in this board were killed by it to begin with, because we don't know how long it's been in there. But I wanted to share this with you today. Somebody else may be looking at their varroa count board, their sticky board, or their tray from their flow-hive 2, and they may find one of these and wonder, what the heck was that? And then somebody else is going to go, Fred knows what it is. That's a lacewing larva. So thanks for watching. I hope you'll tune in tomorrow when we talk more about varroa destructor and how we're going to have to intervene. Enjoy your evening.